During the 1950s, political instability continued to plague French Indochina, affecting Dalat School. Even as school was in session, war raged on as the Communist Army fought against French occupation of the colony. This conflict ensued for 8 years until independence for Vietnam was declared in 1954 and French Indochina came to an end. That year, the country was divided at the 17th parallel, with the communists in the north and a non-communist south where Dalat School was located. Tensions between the north and south began immediately, erupting into civil war. Dalat School, however, kept growing as new missionaries were appointed and students from other countries in Southeast Asia arrived at Dalat to study. Ron Whipple was one of those students. Ron's parents were missionaries with the Christian and Missionary Alliance to Laos. After a few years, the family was forced to evacuate in 1941. When the Japanese invaded the area, the Whipple family left on the last ship returning to the United States. In 1947, following World War II, the family returned to Laos, and the 3 Whipple children, including Ron, began their education at Dalat School. Ron says, "At Dalat, we did not have any luxuries, but we never felt deprived. We felt very much at home." Students received lots of individual attention because there were only 2 or 3 students in each class. Ron grew to love his dorm parents, Uncle Archie and Aunt Betty Mitchell, who poured their lives into the children at Dalat. Ron said, "We respected and loved the Mitchells because they were willing to invest in a bunch of kids." At Dalat, adults were careful not to share news of nearby war and conflict with students, and children were largely unaware of dangers in the area. The goal was to give students a normal school experience. In some cases, children were safer at the school than at home with their parents. After 5 years at Dalat, in 1952, the Whipple family returned to the United States for furlough. Once there, Mr. and Mrs. Whipple made the difficult decision to return to Southeast Asia without their children, and all 3 were enrolled in a boarding program in the U.S. While there, and with the Dalat experience as a foundation, Ron became aware of God's direction in his life to work with missionary kids in the U.S. Over the years, he served as dorm parent, coach, teacher, and administrator at schools and colleges working with children of missionary families, advocating for their needs. Ron went on to be the head or superintendent at 6 additional Christian schools in the U.S. and served on the board of Christian Schools International. Although he semi-retired in 2007, Ron continues to serve as a consultant for schools in the U.S. In all, he has served in Christian education for more than 50 years. Ron says good memories and experiences were fostered by my time at Dalat. God used this experience as a preparation for giving me a passion and vision for the education of children. This has been a very special privilege and joy. Today, over 50% of Dalat alumni work in areas of service around the world, such as teachers, missionaries, pastors, doctors, and nurses. This spirit of service to others is a Dalat legacy that will continue to the next generation.